Last time on Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Penny saved the wild Cufant from a horde of iron moths. Ash caught a wild sandy shocks that enabled his Miraidon to fly. Rivaled another champion ranked trainer by the name of Ametio who defeated two members of his Journeys team. And Nemona won her second gym badge from Gym Leader Tulip in the Alfornada gym. What new adventures awaits our heroes this time? Make sure to stay tuned and subscribe for more episodes. Episode 29. Heading north to Koraidon Hollow, Team Rocket encounters a wild Kleavor, a Pokemon from the ancient region of Hisui. They are very amazed by seeing such a specimen in the wild and decide to catch it. James wants to deal heavy damage to this rock-type Pokemon by sending both his Toadscool and Capsakid, but they leave no avail because of the bug-type attacks of this wild creature. Wobbuffet and Meowth try to do their best as well, but they are a little cutting short, and this leaves for Flittle to help Jessie. Flittle is able to muster several moves, but due to a little raid den, Kleavor is able to terrestrialize into a full-on rock-type Pokemon. This does leave Team Rocket on a very precarious situation, and Flittle is able to muster a lot of damage and she's able to evolve into an Espatra, dealing a lot of moves to Kleavor, and she's also able to wildly terrestrialize into a Steel-type Pokemon, making moves such as Steel Wing and Flash Cannon deal heavy damage and they are able to, defeat Kleavor. Luckily, Kleavor is able to run away. And Jessie and James are a little bit disappointed they could not deliver this rare Pokemon to the boss, but they are happy that one of their members evolved. And in the midst of the den of the Koraidon Hollow, they are able to find one Terra Orb. Now Team Rocket is able to terrestrialize their own Pokemon when the push comes to shove and need be. Episode 30. Ash and the others also arrive to Koraidon Hollow and they are meeting a wild Weirdeer, yet another ancient Pokemon from the region of Hisui. It seems like some Pokemon they are also very able to scout around these parts, and Weirdeer is able to guide them through the hollow in order for them to not get lost and to not enter to one of the tunnels that's an access point to Area 0. While here, they meet another wild Pokemon from the Hisui region and they are able to not only befriend them but learn from them as well, with Ash befriending a Zoroark, Arven befriending an Arcanine, Nemona befriending a Braviary, and Penny befriending a Lilligant. This has Ash very excited. This is the first time that he's seen such wild several Pokemon from an old time's sake. So he decides to release his Voltorb so that he can play around with them and also befriend friends from his time. This also helps Arven's Dachshund to get acquainted with all of these Pokemon, and he has a close friend with Arcanine. And after crossing the paths, these Pokemon thank them and they take each other and they go their merry way. But there is one final challenge from Hisui that our heroes have to face. Episode 31. While heading their way to CASCARRAFA City, they do encounter one legendary Pokemon, Enamorus, the bringer of spring, the fourth member of the Kami trio. Ash is very amazed to see such a unique Pokemon, as he battled several times the Kami trio from the Unova region. Our friends do state to him that since Unova is to the west sea of Paldea, that sometimes Pokemon from those regions come hereby, but Ash has never seen this Pokemon before. It's a fairy type and a female no less. We do see Enamorus going by a Black Star raid den, and she does become very powerful and terrestrializes into a fairy type only, removing her flying weaknesses, but still becoming extremely aerodynamic. Our heroes decide to become stronger and raid this Pokemon in order for theirs to become stronger too. And after such battle, Enamorus flees, but our heroes are now going to new levels and new heights. Episode 32. Ash and the others encounter yet again another Paradox Pokemon, this one being a futuristic version of Aoyama by the name of Iron Hands. Both Ash and Nemona want to capture this Pokemon, however, due to the pressure and the synergetic energy of Iron Hands, he's able to not only make their Pokédex malfunction, but also break the Rotom phones in the process, with Penny stating that they should focus on the capturing the Pokemon as she will deal with the repairs later on, and they so do it. However, they toss a Pokeball at the exact same time, and they have no idea which one was theirs due to the collision, but Iron Hands it's caught. Penny does say that she can repair the Pokédex to see who's registered, but Ash and Nemona decide to halt that for a moment as they want to have a battle to see who should be the worthy trainer of these Iron Hands, since it's both a fighting type and an electric type as well, fitting to train both Koraidon and Miraidon in some aspects. So they decide to have a battle with their starter Pokemon, with Ash having Pikachu while Nemona has the newly found Quaxly. This is a very interesting battle. However, after mustering a lot of Pikachu's electric attacks, Quaxly is able to activate its Torrent ability and evolve into Quaxwell. Quaxwell is giving a decent fight to Pikachu by showing a lot of new moves. However, he loses as well. Ash is able to get Iron Hands, has his 6th Pokemon from the Paldea region, but Nemona gets a new friend by evolving her newly found starter, and she really thanks Ash for this, since the CASCARRAFA gym leader KOFU is a water expert and she wants to show him what water types are truly capable of. Episode 33. In the middle of the route, Arven meets his parents, Professor Sada and Turo. They are very exhausted, asking Arven for his help, but Arven is very amazed by seeing them there. He believed that they were doing their research in the labs of Area Zero. They have no idea how they are here, and he's a little bit reluctant to helping them after what happened to Dashbun. But they say if they do, that they will do whatever it takes. Then he meets a bounty hunter by the name of Clive, disguising himself as one student from the Violet Dorm of Messagosa Academy. He tells Arven so that he could, bring his parents to him by the name of Quasar. Arven has no idea of what this Clive person is talking about, and he also has no idea of who Quasar is or what their might intentions be, but if they're trying to hurt his parents, he will mean business, even if his Pokemon is hurt. Arven is using Dashbun for this battle, where Clive sends out his other K9 Pokemon in Houndoom. However, as time passes, this 1v1 then later on becomes a 3v3, with Sada and Turo sending out their Wigglytuff and Magnezone respectively, and Clive pays in the same coin by sending out his Gyarados and Abomasnow. Ash, Nemona and Penny are very afraid for Arven and they want to help, but Arven says that he has to deal with this thing on his own and also to help his family. However, we do see a shine from these 3 Pokemon, and Ash's aura can resonate with it. It feels like they are about to Mega Evolve. However, Clive gets a call and he immediately disappears, leaving no trace. Arven's companions are happy that the bounty hunter has fled, and he's happier that, both his parents, Sada and Turo, are now safe, telling them to go to the academy and to seek refuge in Director Clive. And so they do. And after this, Arven is very happy to have seen his parents for quite a while. He's happy that Dashbun is getting healthier, but someone is going after his family, and that cannot be.
So it seems like your spy was able to get away, Kita. I believed that you had everything under control, and we would have the professors in our harm's way yet again.
Don't worry about a thing, Master. Everything is under control. According to my calculations, the professors are heading exactly for where they need to be, and where we want to nonetheless. Now, if you do excuse me, I'm going to send my 2 underlings to do some field reports. It seems like another villainous team from another region is here, and I want to make sure they don't cause any harm's way.
You mean the peasants who battled at Cleavor? I should have known. Well, at least it's not the pestilent students of Team Star this time around. Those mobiles are no matter. At the very least, we have at least now 1 treasure ahead of us. Kita, I'm counting on you. Don't you dare to disappoint me. You hear it? Bow to your king.
Of course, Your Highness.
And just one more thing. If those star squads want to get in our way too, we are going to show them the power of Quasar. We are going to show them the power of our own squads if that's the case. Hopefully it won't, but it's no matter. I'm going to win. I'm going to rebuild my own paradise.
Episode 34. Ash and the others have arrived at the city of CASCARRAFA, and he's rejoiced to meet his rival Anipoke. However, Anipoke is not happy to see Ash in the slightest. Ash does ask Anipoke for a rematch, however this one doesn't see any point in a pointless battle. However, Nemona does tell Anipoke that a champion should not refuse challenges from another champion. Even though Ash is not one from Paldea, he's the first one from Alola, so the loophole still applies. Anipoke begrudgingly accepts this and decides to have another 2v2 with Ash to see if he got any better, and he wants to test his old team instead of the new ones that he's training for the sake of Miraidon. And with that, Anipoke sends out his Corviknight while Ash sends out Dragonite. They are having a great aerodynamic battle, however Ash is able to win, taking Corviknight down. This is where Anipoke decides to send out his Ceruledge yet again. In order to not get hit by the ghost moves of Ceruledge, Ash decides to terrestrialize his Dragonite into a newly discovered normal type Terra. This is extremely advantageous for Ash because it means that only fire moves are able to damage Dragonite. However, Anipoke always had a backup plan, because normally Ceruledge is a ghost type. It means that he's weak to dark, and one of the dark type weaknesses is fighting, and this is perfect to counter Dragonite, so Anipoke uses a Brick Break and defeats Ash's Dragonite. Ash is having none of that, and he decides to send out his another Kanto Pokemon from the Journeys team, his Gengar. Both Ash and Gengar are having a spectral showdown against Anipoke's Ceruledge. However, it seems like Ceruledge is getting the upper hand of Gengar because it's a very fragile Pokemon. And with this, Ash decides to go to gamble with yet another mechanic, if Anipoke does allow it. Anipoke does, because he doesn't want for Ash to handicap himself. He wants to battle the champion of Alola with everything that he has on his disposal. And with that, Ash brings out the Keystone and Mega Evolves his Gengar. This is a very amazing fight. And after everything is dust and settled, both Pokemon go down. Ash now has a loss and a draw against Anipoke. Ash is rejoiced, however Anipoke feels like he's getting weaker, and that cannot be. We do see Chairwoman Geeta showing up, and she gives both Ash and Anipoke some words of encouragement and advice. Anipoke doesn't really listen to this and he goes away. After some time, Ash, Geeta and the others go to the Pokemon Center in order to heal Ash's Pokemon and to transfer his own from Professor Oak. After this, Geeta has some news for Ash, as she sends out Iron Thorns. It seems like the rampaging Paradox Pokemon is now quelled and calmed down. And she does tell Ash that she knows that he has caught some Pokemon Paradox for his own, and she's telling him for him to, give it to her in order for safekeeping. However, Ash is a little bit redundant, and that's where all of his electric type Pokemon come into fray. Wattrel, Voltorb, Sandy Shocks and Iron Hands. They are all happy and they have no need for Geeta to basically tame them. Geeta sees this and goes her merry way, leaving Ash behind. It seems like her persuasion skills are no match for the Alola champion. And with this, both Pikachu and Miraidon also come into play, very energetic for at least a brief time, and they are very thankful for Ash's doing. It seems like this is going to be a very interesting team for his own Paldea journey. Episode 35. The battle between Nemona and KOFU is now about to begin, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 in a singles format. KOFU decides to send his Palafin, while Nemona sends out her Pawmot. Palafin is very agile even on land during his Zero form, and he decides to use Flip Turn to return to KOFU's Pokeball, while KOFU sends out his Woke Trio. However, Woke Trio can be very resilient, but it's no match for the powerful attacks of Pawmot, going down after several Thunder Punches. This is where KOFU goes into his another strategy by sending out Palafin yet again, now on his hero form with buffed stats all around, able to defeat Nemona's Pawmot. Nemona decides to use her another fighting Pokemon in Flamigo, and after several acrobatics as well as double kicks and all of the other attacks, Flamigo is able to defeat Palafin with one final hurrah. Palafin goes down, however Flamigo is very exhausted, and this is where KOFU brings out his ace, Crabominable, who easily defeats Flamigo with one Ice Punch. Both Nemona and KOFU are going down to their last Pokemon, with Nemona bringing out Quaxwell, and this rejoices KOFU. He sees two of water Pokemon and everyone in the CASCARRAFA city are amazed to see such aquatic showdown in the middle of the desert. They both decide to terrestrialize their own Pokemon, with KOFU's Ice Fighting Crabominable now being a pure water type and Nemona's Water Quaxwell now becoming a fighting type. They are giving it their all. However, the battle goes into the favor of the champion reg trainer yet again. Nemona wins, proving her worth to Geeta yet again, and she's able to get her third badge in the KOFU rematch. And after all of this, Arven decides to drop by in the end of the battle so that he can learn some cooking skills and some recipes from KOFU, much to Nemona's dismay. But yes, guys, this is where episode 5 of my Pokémon Scarlet and Violet series comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes. KuroBlitz out.